welcome to the news. I am Sajo Brito. The headlines this afternoon: Gunjur Berending land dispute claims another life. Honorable Yakumba Jaite makes a first court appearance, and Tourism Ministry begins disbursement of funds to help businesses and individuals in the tourism industry affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. These and more coming up, but first we'll begin with the newspapers. The Standard newspaper is reporting that ex-NIA boss and co reject TRRC invitation to appear before the commission. And of course, Gambia Armed Forces explains a standoff with Senegalese soldiers in Farafenni, and stolen baby in Babylon found. Aji Yamundau Yabo makes personal plea to Barrow, and of course, new political party NUP leader Usman Jammeh speaks for the first time. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. Ex-NIA boss and co-reject TRRC invitation. Yankuba Baji, former director of notorious National Intelligence Agency, the body accused of orchestrating violence on critics and opponents of the Jammeh regime, has rejected an invitation to appear before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Baji is currently held at Mile 2 prisons for the alleged murder of Solo Sandeng, along with 6 others who all but one reportedly declined to testify at the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission. Gambia Armed Forces explains a standoff with Senegalese soldiers in Farafenni. The Army spokesman, Major Lamin Sanyang, has said reports circulating on social media over a confrontation between Gambian soldiers stationed in Farafenni and Senegalese soldiers on the Ecomic were blown out of proportion. Of course, reports emerged on social media on Saturday that a confrontation ensued after Gambian soldiers stopped Senegalese gendarmerie officers who were escorting a military ambulance carrying a patient back to Senegal for medical attention. But Piero Sanyang said the incident was just a matter of miscommunication. Stolen Babylon baby found. A twin baby who was reportedly stolen on Saturday from Lamin, Babylon by a mysterious woman dressed in a veil has been found. Modu, the baby's father, confirmed to the Standard that the woman who took the baby boy returned her yesterday morning accompanied by the woman's husband. "We are very happy that we have found our baby," he said. Conte said the woman and the husband were arrested and detained at the Banjul police station. Aji Yamundau Yabo makes personal plea to President Adama Barrow. Aji Yamundau Yabo, the Deputy National President of the United Democratic Party, has made a personal plea to President Adama Barrow, urging him to end the intimidation and a host of serious abuses by the police and state intelligence services SIS in order to leave a good legacy. NUP leader Usman Jammeh speaks. Usman Jammeh, the leader of the newly formed National Unity Party, has said the objectives of his party are, among other things, to tackle rampant corruption and bring about essential socio-economic transformation that will address national security, poverty, women empowerment, health and food security. Christians complain over draft constitution should be taken seriously. Former Minister of Interior has said the views of the Christian Council should be taken seriously with regard to the draft Constitution 2020. The Gambia Christian Council has expressed a disappointment over certain clauses of the draft. Some of their concerns relate to Sharia provisions and secularism. Banyaka villagers petition Alcalo and demand for his resignation. Several people, including elders of Banyaka in Kombo South, are demanding the immediate resignation of their Alcalo, Lamin I Kamara, who was appointed in 2015. A petition signed by the elders and copied to relevant ministries, including the Ministry of Lands and other departments, seen by the Standard, quoted village elders are saying that they are unhappy with the Alcalo system of administration, accusing him of breeding instability and dividing the people of the village. That's it for the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at what the point is saying. Government relaxes travel restrictions. Let's take a look at that story. The Gambia government has announced the relaxation of travel restrictions and plans to open some non-essential places, the office of the government spokesperson reveals. The Gambia government gradually relaxes various restrictions based on the trajectory of the COVID-19 pandemic. All intending travelers to the country are reminded of these facts. That's it for the newspapers. We'll go for a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Another land dispute in the coast has claimed another life, this time a 56-year-old who was stabbed and left with life-threatening injuries. More in this report. A land dispute in the coastal village of Gunjur, Berending, has claimed another life. A source who spoke to the Fatu network on condition of anonymity said the victim was allegedly wounded on his neck with a cutlass 2 weeks ago following a bitter-land scuffle with another native. The alleged altercation left the victim Usman Drame with life-threatening injuries that led to his demise on Sunday. This will be the second land-related death in the community following the demise of Buba Jame in March 2019, who was shot and killed at his orchard by one Buba Drame. Confirming the news to the Fatu network, Police PRO Laminjai said this.
What happened actually is like sometime last week on the 28th of September, we received a complaint at the Gunjur police station. One Lamin Trame arrived and complained to the police that, his uncle was stabbed on his head and that he needed police assistance or intervention in this situation. So the police decided to get to this place, and then later the victim, whose name is Usman Drame, he's commonly known as Kutu, a 58-year-old guy, and he also resides in Berendi. Then at the scene, they also were able to arrest the suspect, whose name is Lamin Joku. He also is addressed at Berending village, and he's like 60 years old. So then the victim was rushed to the health center and then referred to the Edward Francis Moore Teaching Hospital. And that was where he was taking treatment until we received information recently, I think that's today, that the victim who is receiving treatment at at EF Hospital passed away. So the police are continuing the investigation, and appropriate actions will follow while the suspect is helping the police in their investigation.
Watanbe, brought to you by AfriCell.
Be part of the amazing conversations with Gambia's greatest minds and personalities. Get ready to be entertained, inspired, and motivated on the Watanbe platform. Plus, stand a chance of winning the shopping of your life. Call or SMS 1010 for $3 is only to win cash prizes and a free shopping spree.
Join Watanbe live on GRTS and social media on Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Kylie New Watan.
Where AfriCell goes.
And now, National Assembly member Yakumba Jaite, who was charged with assault and obstructing drug law enforcement agency offices during an operation in Kololi late last week, made her first court appearance today. Jakasi Jaite tells us more.
Move a little bit.
It went normal. It was just normal mention hearing because it's the first time they are appearing. And then it's the first time we're given the opportunity to have the prosecution's documents, the charge sheets, and then the particulars of their charge. So we have been served with that in court. And then because it's the first hearing, the prosecution sought adjournment in order to prepare their witnesses. And the court granted that adjournment to the 26th. So on the 26th, we hope to hear from their first witness, and hopefully we will then be able to cross-examine that witness on what actually happened on that date. Well, firstly, as I said, this is about justice. What we're seeking is that justice prevail in all cases. So this is one particular case that is very important for justice to prevail, because we have allegations made against a sitting member of parliament. If the police officers or drug enforcement agents could have the brazenness or the audacity to jump into a sitting member of parliament's house and then do what they did on that day, because that will all be cleared during the course of the trial of what actually transpired. Because obviously, if they made a case, the defense will have to open our defense, and then people will hear that other side. I'm hoping that it wouldn't get to that, because we're hoping that this would be a classic no case to answer sort of case. But if it gets to that, then we will hear our side. But we want to hear what really transpired, what they did, why they did that. That is very important. So if they can do that to a sitting member of parliament, then the whole country is at the mercy of the drug enforcement agents. They could come to our compounds, anyone's compound. So I don't have to sit and wait until it is my compound to come and say I have to go and defend. I have to defend because it is happening to someone who deserves justice as well.
Tough Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens. Tough Tulip Gardens is set to comprise service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. Please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333. Tough Africa.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Tourism and Culture, through its efforts to support all registered individuals working in the tourist sector, disbursed a COVID-19 relief fund of $100,000. The mood at the distribution center was rather unpleasant for the recipients. Jaka Sise tells us more.
Exactly about 2 weeks ago, the Minister of Tourism and Culture, Honorable Ahmed Ba, at a press conference, made an announcement that an amount of $100 million will be distributed amongst all registered individuals working in the tourist sector as COVID relief package. The scenario today at the distribution site in Senegambia doesn't tell too well, as hundreds gathered in frustration and disappointment over the manner in which the distribution was done. Someone to speak to? Hello, I am Jaka CCJT, and we're currently here at Senegambia as individuals working in the tourism sector are here to collect their share of the $100 million which was promised to them by the Ministry of Tourism and Culture. Let's hear to see what they have to say.
Wow, then you call, when you call my boss, my Samba Sow, after Silama call, when you try new call suñ pour because dañ am grant bo xamne dañ ko jox pour suñ gaay pour jappalé ñu ci affaire coronavirus bi. So lolu dal ñu rafetlu ko ñu xamne tam lu baax la because su la ni di jappalé tam lu baax la pour nga mëna support sa bop support sa njabot yi xam because asuno ñun ñe borom njabot lañ depuis match ñu ngi tok liggéey amut dara amut affaire sa ngi xawa doy war wa bu ñu waxé li nak ci lañ xara ñu ñëw nak ñu def li way bi ñëwé dañ fi fekk ciono bo xamne organize sut ta worto na demé ni doomi adama soko waré dimbalé mom dimbalé la way bu ko dimbalé diko toroxalel because li tam toroxal la holal depuis 7 o'clock amna ño xamne ñu fi way ciono lañ fi jëlé mak yu bare fi ñoo xamne borom high blood lañ nga woré na tek ci naaj bi waaw xaliss tam digala neex na tam way amna noko joté tam su mété rek dang dé fédop té ñu bare ngi door di fédop fu mu nekk ni man dama fogone as far as different craft markets la te ku nekk am nga sa président am nga sa committee dama fogo dafa waruna jaar ci committee yi ñu organize bo xamne ku nekk dañu wara craft market bu nga ñaari nit ñu tok waxtane affaire ci nangam ñew na dé pour jën la way naka lañ ko mëna défé bi ngeen jot ci yépp mu easy way nga ñew pak nit ñi fi ak non sen sudul je affaire sa ngi métti suñ kaw digala dafa difficult métti na trop
ntolla jande natale ko fo ECOWAS le mol so ko do min me yengo tourism la ba sa nato ko do receive bar ko do ni e ko ni min manjoro ke 2020 ita ko do ni dilela sa dol bi jey maajo 2020 because anin sa dun ta nyola anin gambela problem jama dun ta nyo 3 years be jana e courant be jana so mo jama bi jey ma access to pour ka jo so kan ba ko do nata Gambia dingol le to ya ka Gambia dingol ma koy ya ka ala ya ka kila ya di Gambia dingol la because mbatata le serum man firike tubabol be man na tubabol barata mine problème o min taraja firi manke most of the people will be me alon ko ani das wili nano e ma firi la bitikoto so nim man say e mo so kodola wala ECOWAS mala boda banku jimalto ya di mo la na kele momo non kon nete fa ya di mo la am nga ñu ngi tok juroom benn weer juroom ñaari weer 7 months ni ñangi tok di sonna amuñ dara ñu ngi tok ci suñ tëdd ci suñ kër yi biñ toogee nag dégg ne xaalis bi génn nañ fi mu nekk léegi ñun de ñun lu ñoo laaj mooy 2020 te amuñ 2020 fi mu nekk léegi corona 2019 la ñëw ñun biñ demee ba po waaja dem di fay ñu ne stop nañ ko léegi fi mu nekk léegi ku amul receipt 2020 duñ la jox te nit ñi xaalis bi dañ ko indi pour ñun ñëpp léegi luñ seetaanee ku am 2020 ak ku amul 2020 sorry waruñoo tànn ku am 2020 ak ku amul 2020 li ñoo war a def mooy ñu fay ñëpp parce que nit ñi si coono lañ nekk nit ñaa ngi tëdd ci seen kër yi sonna amuñ luñ lekk fi mu nekk léegi 6000 bi ñoo wax ne moom la ñoo jox nii si loolu lañ yaakaar depuis ci fajar ñu ngi ñëw toog di tànn ñu ñoo jox ak ñu dut jox 2020 ñu man de ama 2020 2019 la am suma receipt yaa ngi nii every year déedéet tey laa ñëw ñu wax ma loolu maa ngi fay naa suma receipt baa ngi nii 2016 na ngi nii 2017 na ngi nii 2018 na ngi nii 2019 na ngi nii léegi 2020 bi nag jeexagut fi mu nekk ñu ngi si biir 2020 bi jeexagut maa ngi indiwaale suma xaalis pour fay ñu jox ma suma lii léegi kay ñoom nañ jox ñi liñ moom ñu jël ñoom liñ moom du noonu la war a demee waaye fi mu nekk léegi ñun depuis ci suba ñu ngi taxaw si naaj bi ne ko amul receipt 2020 duñ la jox te fi mu nekk léegi 2020 jeexagut te nit ñaa ngi si coronavirus bi nañ ñu dimbale jox ñu suñu xaalis yi nag nit ñu sonna nañ dañ sonna ñu nga tëdd 7 mois ñu ngi tëdd suñu kër yi xiif bay bugg a dee mar nañ xiif nañ dee nañ.
As you can see, there are hundreds of individuals lining up just to get an amount of $6,000, and some have already been here since 6 o'clock this morning. We have also tried to engage officials that are doing the distribution of the money, but to no avail. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review, Jaka CCJT.
Welcome back. After 7 extensive months of staying at home, Gambian students are finally set to go back to school. This follows the Ministry of Education's announcement of the official reopening slated for Wednesday, 14th October 2020 for junior and senior secondary students and Wednesday, 28th October for nursery and primary school students. Mudi Wangom tells us more in this report.
In what can be considered as the longest-lasting worldwide school system shutdown in the history of education, Gambian schools are finally on the verge of reopening next week, according to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. We're out in the streets of Banjul to find out what parents, teachers, and students alike feel about the entire ordeal.
Well, I think for now everyone is happy, and then the teachers too, because my mom is a teacher and I have a sister who's a teacher. Yesterday I saw her posting on her status that we are glad that schools are open and finally we are going back. I mean, it's just like, I'm sure most of the teachers, they love their profession. It's something that they love doing, and them staying home, it is something that is going to at least affect them in one way or the other. So I'm sure everyone is happy about kids going back to school, which is going to help them as well. Yeah, because I think we've stayed home for more than 7 months now, so I'm sure everyone is going to be happy about that.
Parce que xalé dañ dëgër boppa té dañ bëri was bëri da nga waxa ba bëri affaire da nga wa bay bëgga dé so ñu janga dem ñu mëna am good education mo gën ñuy tok ci kër li yépp waste of time la té dafa tax brain xalé bi comme ñu ñoo wara fonctionner du fonction nonu parce que xalé légui dañ bëgga yëfi fo so kontaan naa si trop ibite school bi mom kontaan naa si trop.
It's good that the schools are reopening. We just hope that we keep the coronavirus, the case where they are. We don't have a second surge like other places are having, so that we can continue having our normal lives. I think it's great news. You know, without education, our youths, it's a problem, and the country can't go forward. So
do you have kids or maybe siblings that are currently going to school?
I don't have kids, but I have siblings who are going to school.
And how did they take the information? Are they excited to go back?
Unfortunately, currently I'm not living with them, but I'm sure they're excited. My parents will be excited too, because I mean it helps to know that education is a process. So when there is a gap between that, it's not actually very good. So it's good. It's good news that they're going back to school.
Man mom hana kontaan man hana kontaan parce que man mom xaleti student la man xaleti student la de lolu mom ñepp xam nañ ko sax anti kaba bi xalé ñoko créer man bi ma dooree di jaay kaba ci la xale yi door di ma ooyee anti kaba fu ma tourné anti kaba rek lañ ma dee ooyee su ma déggee anti kaba rek dama dee xam ne suma students yi leen fii ba students yu bëri sax am na ñoo xam te xawma leen sax waaye fuñ ma gis anti kaba doo dee xam daal suma xol daf dee fees torop si loolu ba tey sax dañ dee ñëw sax.
waaw loolu moom wax dëgg ne yàlla ministre bi def na lu baax loolu moom bégte la si Gambien si ak parents yi yëpp because xam nga rek nga feel sa doom mu dem jàngi at the end of the day xam nga mu ñëw fàtte lu mu jàngoon yëpp so xam nga loolu moom amalut parents yi benn njëriñ waaye comme que ministre bi ñëw na ba déclaré xam nga school dafa ubbi si loolu moom sant yàlla bu rëy a rëy la ba pare taxi driver yi tamit dëgg la kontaan nañ si because su nekkul student yi taxi driver yu bëri duñ mun a liggéey lu correct da ngaa gis ne taxi driver yu bëri dañ lay am ay contrat ki student yi taw dem jëli xale school di leen yóbbu ñu leen a fay xam nga loolu yëpp dafa stop léegi fu mu nekk nii driver yëpp a ngi jooy affaire yi trafic bi school tëj na school amut te student yi tamit xam nga bokk nañ si ñoo xamante ne dañ dee jàppale driver yi.
Students in junior school from grade 7 to 9 are expected to return to school on Wednesday, the 14th of October, while students in nursery and primary school are expected back in their classrooms by the 28th. This story is still developing, and we hope to bring you more on it in the coming days.
I was excited because my day at school after 7 months, ñu ngi toog kër nekkoon di dem school, so ñu toog rek ñu dégg news nat ñu ngi ñëw ubbi school, so everybody was excited. We were used to doing the online classes, but it was not favoring us because we missed a lot in class. Lu bari lañ miss ci class. Waaye try nañ teachers yi tamit try nañ, while they were doing their best to help us.
Yes, I'm very excited to go back to my classroom. It was hard, and it was hard. Even the online classes weren't working. Because the teachers, the explanation they gave weren't enough. To be honest, it was really, really hard because as a grade 12 students, I've experienced that it's not easy to study. And then the pandemic has spoiled a lot of things. Some of us were not able to finish our syllabus, and some of us were not ready for the exams. The exams to this year, everything changed. Like everything just changed. We had new calculators. We had to. We did not get used to. We are not used to those calculators. So we had to use the calculators, and then we like the exam was just so new. The exam was so. It was like. The system changed because like we were not used to writing exams like that, and then the final year came, and then we were not expecting most of the things that we saw in the examination papers. But it was really hard though, studying and then going to and fro, and then sometimes you want to study but there will be no light. NAWEC have been a problem for us these days, and then we finding it to study, it will be very hard. Some of us have to use lens, and then we won't be able to see what we are reading. And yeah, it was just so hard to study. This academic year was really hard. It was hard.
Reporting live from the city of Banjul under extremely hot conditions, I am Mudi Wangom.
The Ganifing Municipal Council, in partnership with Gumworks, constructed a new market at Latrikunda, Sabiji. The market, with 70 shops, was formally inaugurated on Thursday. Fatu Networks and Mati Senghor was there, and she files in this report.
The Latrikunda Sabiji market was opened for public use following a formal inauguration by the Lord Mayor of KMC. This grand ceremony was witnessed by many distinguished personalities, masquerades, and different cultural groups.
jama mabela be kontonna ñom sen ko se wota bi bake kana la de kunda marso da ele jambi waya se o bake.
Speaking at the event last Thursday are the market president and ward councillor, who both showed their appreciation to the mayor and his partners for uplifting the standard of their market.
marché jamal le bisilo kan talib hamu kamul do mo ne am na marché yu bari bi nga xamantene talibé eni na ko de ko cigal marché yu bari nga xamantene programme mo ñi wolof dañ wax ñu ne ko suwali ñi fa ko li yangu même amanta li yangu ko ko do be amamande wala se bo waxta kon nak ki yangal li ako robe nga amamande moy talibé soda ako wala mo am talibé soda di me woni nga xamantene ko se do ci wéri tek dañ wax ñu ne ako kañu fa ko bala ma romba ako jana be tamila ma ngay wax ne talib aka ba fa talib mayo bi ako dina mayo ak hay délégation dim andal anana hay ba délégation andal ma ko tek ci loxom ako be la la ko ñu xamne bayuma kenn ako sala ko sala ma ñu na mo ak fo nit mën ci joge ko mo da dawda ndax olof dafa wax ñu ne ako ka do sunu ñu fa ko ku def lu reuy mo me ko ba ke dinañ la wax lu reuy ako be ko ba la fali ba.
Lamin J. Jame, the chairman and council's committee on markets, highlighted the criteria of having a shop at the market and being a Gambian is key among others.
Andu momo me ala ko e place lulle so don jam ko ma do sayni ba so la kilinda mala mo do place do ale ke ko ma de na ma ni ko do place ci ko ne ko me di be na ka andu ni marso abdila banku di wal dam mala wala mo force criteria sule do menna ko banku di wala na wala marso do.
Gangworks was responsible for the project and their director general Ibrahim Cham was at the event.
I wish to express my sincere thanks to the Lord Mayor and the CEO of Canifin Municipal Council for inviting Gangworks and allowing me to say a few words at this joyous occasion to mark the opening of the newly constructed Latikula Sabji Market. I am pleased to inform you that Latikula Sabji Market have been built to modern standards. It has 2 building blocks with 70 canteen shops and 2 offices on 2 floors. It has also got 485 meters squared of concrete pavement, which can accommodate a number of vendors. The market will provide employment opportunities and easy access to fresh food products for the local community. The total cost of the market is about $14 million. Please join me in congratulating the Lord Mayor Talib Matensula for making the market a private investment for Canifin Municipal Council.
KM Mayor Talib Ahmed Bentura thanked his partners and assured the vendors for building other 100 shops in the market, as 70 is not enough.
Good afternoon. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Alkali and the Imam of Latikunda, the Director General Gangworks, Mr. Ibrahim Cham, my Deputy Mayor and the Honorable Councillor of Latikunda Sabeji, Mr. Ansumana Bayo, Interim Chairman Mr. Bakari Jamme, Market President Mr. Badufal and his executives, Lady Councillor of Latrikunda Sabeji Anti B. Sanyang, Market Committee Chair Councillor Lamin Jamme and Market Manager, my mother, suma yaay, Auntie Natu Jallo. maa ngi nuyu waa démocratie di nuyu entertainment group Bati Yaay maa ngi nuyu president of Gambia Manufacturing Agency Mr. Mohamed Silla, distinguished gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We have come here today to inaugurate, in partnership with Gumworks, the Latrikunda Sabiji market. This is part of a $110 million project with Gumworks that encompasses many projects, including roads, Bundung Maternity Ward, our town hall at KMC, and of course, the beautiful Latrikunda Sabiji market.
The event ended by cutting of ribbons for the official handing over of the NMOS architectural scenery to the Market Committee. Reporting for the 13 Walk News Review, I am Mati Senghor.
Welcome back. Road conditions in some part of the country have been a major concern for more, and now drivers and all the relevant authorities are raising the issue. Fatou Kamara tells us more in this report.
In the Gambia, roads are the only available means of movement for people and goods. There is no such thing as railways or any other means of transport. Unfortunately, most roads in the Gambia are in very, very deplorable conditions, and this gets Gambians raising questions on the manner in which our roads get constructed. Stay with us as we engage all parties involved.
At the Kotu garage, driver Mahmoud Job and Ibrahim expressed dissatisfaction about the conditions of the roads, adding other related issues.
So, li ma gis da moy fi nek na nguur gi ñom xolaguñ drive da parce que time bi ñom ñi ngi ci sen affaire politique parce que président bi génn na bu yagul dem ñew waye waxu dara sa ci mbiri drive yi waxu dara ci mbiri yoon yi mo tek ñu yépp dëkk bi mu gëna am solo parce que dëkk bi fi moy capital ku jog fi ngay ñew dëkk bi amul yoon because so xé bu dem ton table joggé ko route problème la so xé dem bañul problème la bo xé wara dem Westfield problème la so kon yaakar na ni da nguur gi dafa wara jog xol yooni gannaaw yi defaral ko drive yi pour nit ñi mëna dem seen yoon bi gaaw dem ak dikk bi yomb
dan traffic ko wode wala bulo ko te bola no because every day la waka worst every day la kalafa every day akalafa samale be kere ba do fo samale ba nem moto ko to men be pa ke ñi jiyo nol be wul woto no abete fola no sister jawo kay ku kileng man sa janta nyaati na wala bak jan silo sila tan telebul garaso garasi tembul molla garaso e kata ka pompo ele jiyo so to yata jonkon to yadunje gambia jang agaras ta jang sako sa fo jonkon fele ta pompo ko le fa be ja wala jonkon fele ta tanje garaso ja fe beta sumuna ko yen ndinga ba ko ngata sumuna wo nin kama to dai mu e kata marcelo jane ya wolu jo yata kamo buo jang fe ya sam because anen telefon la garasa be je ka jole pour wide la nol nata nan isa wide no ata da mambo ndi mola juba kono bara especially fanga teji ni garaso men fay ka fa garasi sonko le be jang betengele be juru mirin jande ni ta je ba jele betengele be juru mirin jam fo mo do nata e bulo ko si jam ka te record dale mo.
Omar Sise, president of the Gambia Transport Union, has this to say.
Yeah, truly speaking, we all know in Greater Banjul we have a concern in the road network. Where it's challengeable for us because we got the traffic. Our drivers, keep a lot of duration into the traffic. End of the day, going to get a lot of fuel consumptions. So end of the day, it's going to create losses for us. We are feeling very, challengeable on this. But as of now, we are listening to see how to come together to look way forward on this because it's a concern for transport sector, especially the passenger vehicles. What was important, first of all, special grade area, we all know before you are talking about the 1 minute, 2 minutes, more than 10 minutes or 20 minutes, due to we have received more vehicles, but their vehicle don't have any permit plan. Vehicle are coming board, any individual need to have a transportation. But if you look at the official fare should be $8 according to the national tariff. But if you look at the traffic also, you will spend more than 1 hour from like Westfield to Tabokoto. If it's a fuel consumption, you're going to consume, end of the day, you are working on losses. That's why some drivers capitalize, take tenders from people, but it's illegal. It's not correct because fare should be remain as far as the officer is concerned. So we did a visibility study, our site visit with the Minister of Transport, and the unnecessary stakeholders. Through the Greater Banjul, we recommend, we visit a lot of places. So we recommend some places. We wrote to the Minister of Transport. They have final report. So they will send to the Minister of Lands through physical planning to look who own those places. Because maybe some places will go by private properties to see how to get some tourist people. But as of now, we are that facility. But we recommend some places around Westfield End, Tabokoto, Salaji, Kotu, many locations to see how to create a garage so that the commercial vehicle will gather there. So that I think we're going to help for the traffic congestion or the double fares or triple fares. Drivers are collecting from people. But it's a concern about due to COVID, that's why we cannot have a physical meeting. But we study project. We had a visit. We have a report from the Minister of Transport. So now we are looking to way forward how to start to get those land from those land owners.
Responsible for the administration, control, construction and maintenance of roads, as well as initiating, preparing designs and contract documents for road works in the Gambia is NRA.
Okay, lack of finance has been there. Okay, the maintenance of these roads, okay, the finance budget is always exceed, okay, what is being given. That one is there. But looking at roads deteriorate due to mainly two factors. Okay, one is environmental, and the other is due to excess loading. During the rainy season, we have the rainfall, that is the water. So some of the drains, are overloaded, and most of these pour on the roads. So the passage of vehicles on these roads while they are with water lead to their deterioration. Okay, another thing is there is no weight control. That is, we have all kind of weight of vehicle passing through these routes, okay? Based on the ECOWAS protocol, that we have the 11.5 ton, but it is not implemented here. So due to that excess loading, that might also lead to quick deterioration of these roads. The OIC project for the 20 roads, that is the 50 kilometers, now we are in phase 1. Phase 1 is the detailed design and then preparation of tender documents. So when we finish that, then we will go for tender and then civil work will start. Roads are infrastructures that when you design them, they have a service period, and also they deteriorate due to a lot of factors. So to maintain roads is not the function of only NRA. For roads to serve their service period, the community and the municipalities have a lot to play.
Among parties responsible for works on secondary or community roads construction is KMC. Aisa Fall, Public Affairs Manager at KMC, said this to the Fatu Network. Councils all over the country are unable to build secondary roads. Councils need more shares of taxes to be able to construct many roads. Adding, central government also has to pay councils much awaited subventions, which is 25% of their development fund, to enable them to go ahead with such projects. Such funding had never been paid after many consultations and public appeals by the councils. In order to make a nation grow and develop, roads stands in a vital position. They make a crucial contribution to economic development and growth and brings important social benefits. However, in the Gambia, the conditions of our roads remain a hindrance for our economic and social development. Fatu Kamara reporting for the Fatu Network News Review.
Well, that's it for News Review. Do join us tomorrow if you can. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.